Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Podcast. This is episode 140. I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne. Today we're looking at something really interesting, the way technical communication is evolving. It's moving beyond just writing docs into, well, knowledge architecture.
Exactly. And we're basing this discussion on a great article that our producer Kurt Robbins suggested. It's called Unlocking New Career Paths: How Data Transforms into Knowledge. The author C.J. Walker, and it was published by Firehead on September 11th, 2025, part of their series on skills for modern technical communication.
Right. And the core idea really is that this whole journey from raw data all the way up to, genuine insight, technical communicators are actually perfectly placed to manage that entire process.
And mastering that journey, well, the article argues it opens up whole new career paths, strategic ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So the article lays out 8 stages in this transformation.
Okay, let's get into it. The goal here is to walk through these 8 stages and see how managing this flow makes technical writers, well, indispensable.
The author sets the scene nicely, actually framing it as a progression. There's even a bit of poetry mentioned, something like raw data flows. Through structure's lens, it comes in sight. As knowledge finds the truth we seek. You get the idea. From chaos to clarity.
Nice. So stage 1, where does it all begin?
Stage 1 is raw data.
Okay.
This is just the absolute basics. Unprocessed stuff. Facts, figures, no context at all.
Like server logs, user clicks maybe?
Exactly. Or support tickets dumped somewhere. The article uses a specific example. User 123, button 2, 14.02.23, error 55. Just that line on its own. Pretty meaningless.
Right, you don't know why or what happened really, just that it did.
Which leads straight into stage 2, structured data.
Okay, so this is where we start organizing things.
Precisely. You take that raw chaos and give it a consistent format, something searchable.
Like putting it into a database. Or using XML or JSON.
Yeah, exactly. Taking that log entry example, you'd put it into columns. User ID, interface element, timestamp, error code. Now it's structured.
And this is often a point where, technical writers need to start talking to data teams, right, to make sure the structure actually captures what's needed later on.
Absolutely critical. You need the right hooks in the data from the start. So assuming we've got structured data, we move to stage 3, information.
Okay, so structure plus context.
Context, exactly. This is where meaning starts to emerge. You're not looking at single entries anymore, but at patterns.
So like analyzing that structured log data and finding out error 55 keeps happening when people click button 2 during peak hours.
That's it. You've aggregated the data, added context, and now you have information, a trend.
And traditionally, this is maybe where the tech writer used to step in.
Often, yes. Which brings us to stage 4, content.
The user guides, the help articles, API docs.
Right. Taking that information, the peak hour error 55 issue, and shaping it for a specific audience and purpose. You write the help article explaining it, suggesting workarounds.
So those first 4 stages, data to structured data, information, then content. That feels like, pretty familiar territory for a lot of technical communicators.
It is solid traditional work. But the article's main point is really about what comes next. The shift towards strategy happens in stages 5 through 8.
Okay. Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Kurt Robbins.
Hi, this is Kurt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the Technical Writing Success Podcast. So before the break, we covered the first 4 stages: raw data, structured data, information, and content. Now we're moving into the more architectural phases.
Right, starting with stage 5, structured content. How's that different from just regular content in stage 4?
It's a big leap. Structured content isn't just about the final output like a PDF or web page. It's about the underlying structure of the content itself. The content is broken down into reusable components, and crucially, it's tagged with rich metadata.
So that help article about error 55,
Yeah.
It's not just text anymore.
No. With metadata specifying the error code, the feature it relates to, the user impact, version information, all that granular detail, it becomes machine readable.
Okay, I see. Making the content itself structured and smart.
If structured content is about organizing the pieces, semantic content is about defining the relationships between those pieces. Think intelligent linking, cross-references based on taxonomies and ontologies.
So the system itself starts connecting the dots.
Right. Our Air 55 article, because it's structured and tagged, can now automatically link to related troubleshooting guides, maybe the documentation for the specific feature, or even known bug reports. It's not isolated anymore. It's part of a connected knowledge graph.
That sounds powerful, like moving from a filing cabinet to a networked brain.
That's a good way to put it. And that network enables stage 7, knowledge.
Okay, so how do we define knowledge here?
Knowledge is about understanding how to apply all that connected information effectively. It's not just having the info, it's knowing what to do with it.
So like best practices, standard operating procedures.
Exactly. Decision trees, maybe? The support team, for instance, uses that interconnected semantic content from stage 6 to develop standardized, efficient responses. They know the context, the related issues, the confirmed solutions, all pulled together.
Got it. So it's actionable understanding.
Precisely. And the final stage, the peak, is stage 8, insight.
Insight. This sounds like the big strategic payoff.
It is. Insight comes from deep understanding, often gained over time, looking across the entire system. It's pattern recognition that leads to strategic improvements.
So with our Error 55 example, insight would be?
It would be realizing, after looking at months of data patterns, S1, usage trends, S3, content effectiveness, S4, S6, and support interactions, S7, that, hey, maybe this error is actually preventable with the small UI change.
So you're not just documenting the problem or fixing it reactively.
You're preventing it proactively based on insight drawn from the whole knowledge system you've built. You redesign the interface, Error 55 disappears. That's huge strategic value.
And this whole 8-stage journey really underlines how the technical communicator's role is shifting, isn't it? The article makes a strong case that TCs need to be involved much earlier.
Absolutely. Not just receiving information at stage 4 to write content, but collaborating way back at stages 1 and 2 with data teams, defining what needs to be collected, how it should be structured.
Because you need that foundation to build the structured and semantic content later on.
You do. It means technical communicators are increasingly responsible for designing things like content models, metadata schemas, taxonomies, basically architecting the knowledge flow.
So it's less about the deliverable, the document, and more about designing the system that produces and connects knowledge.
That's the strategic pivot, and it's leading to new, specialized roles.
Okay, let's talk about those. The article mentioned 3 key ones emerging.
Yes. First, the knowledge systems architect.
Sounds important, like the master planner.
Pretty much. They design the overall framework, the information architecture, the governance for how knowledge flows across the whole organization. They're looking end-to-end, stages 1 through 8.
Okay, what's the second role?
The knowledge integration specialist. If the architect designs the city plan, the integrator builds the roads and bridges.
Connecting things.
Exactly. They focus on linking content across different platforms, building out the detailed taxonomies and ontologies that make stage 6 semantic content actually work, making sure it's all a cohesive ecosystem, not just silos.
Makes sense. And the third one?
The Content Intelligence Manager. This role is really at the intersection of content and data analytics.
So measuring effectiveness.
Yes, using analytics, user behavior data, insights from the early stages to track how content performs, optimize it, and demonstrate its value. They're proving the ROI, essentially quantifying the impact, especially that jump from knowledge application, S7, to strategic insight, S8.
Turning content into a measurable business asset. That's a significant change.
It really is, and companies that are doing this well, according to the article, tend to have a few things in common.
Like what?
Clear knowledge strategies, for one. Strong collaboration across teams, documentation, data science, product, support. They all have to work together.
No more working in isolation.
Definitely not. And, crucially, a commitment to continuous improvement. These systems aren't static. They need constant tuning and refinement.
And is there demand for these kinds of skills?
Apparently, yes. The article highlights growing demand, especially in sectors like finance, healthcare, tech places, where managing complex information effectively is critical for business success, compliance, safety.
So technical communicators moving into these roles are shifting from being seen as a cost center to a strategic asset.
That's the argument. And looking ahead, the integration of AI and machine learning is only going to accelerate this.
Also,
Well, AI can automate a lot of the processing, the classification, maybe even content generation, but it needs well-structured, semantically rich data and content to work effectively.
So the human role becomes more critical in designing the architecture that the AI relies on.
Exactly. Our expertise in structuring information, defining meaning and context, that becomes the key enabler for AI in knowledge systems. We design the framework. AI helps accelerate the flow from data to insight.
So rather than being replaced, technical communicators become transformation leaders.
That's the potential, yes. Designing and governing the systems that turn data into organizational intelligence. It's a much broader, more strategic view of the career path than just, say, senior writer.
It definitely gives you a lot to think about regarding where the field is heading and, where you might want to develop your own skills moving across that 8-stage framework.
Absolutely. It's about seeing the bigger picture of knowledge flow.
Thank you for listening to the Technical Writing Success Podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next week.